Hello friends, welcome to Aims Today YouTube channel. You are watching NEET Foundation Biology Habitat Adaptations in Living Organisms. In this video, we are going to discuss about the animals and their habitat and their adaptations in their particular habitat. Terrestrial animals and adaptations. Terrestrial animals are the animals that live predominantly or entirely on land. There are maximum number of animals which can live on land, such as dogs, cats, rats, wild animals like lion, deer, zebra, etc. The animals living on land are called terrestrial animals. Their bodies are suited to live on land. The terrestrial animals either live on land or inside the burrows below the surface of the soil, or they may live on the different habitats. These animals have well developed systems of locomotory organs like legs, skin, and wings, and breathing organs like lungs, skin, to breathe in oxygen present in the atmosphere. All other systems, including the sensory organs, are well suited for the survival on the land. Terra means earth. Terrestrial means the meaning is of the earth. Terrestrial animals and their habitat and their adaptation. The terrestrial animals are well adapted. Some of the terrestrial animals like snake and earthworm, they crawl. In polar region, the animals have to face harsh winters. The animals living in these regions have thick hair coat on the skin and fat under it keep them warm. Such animals are polar bear, yak, penguins, walrus, seals, etc. A polar bear have webbed feet, a layer of fat beneath the skin, fur that helps them blend in and dry off, camouflage, and a black skin to absorb the sunlight and to retain the heat. So terrestrial animals adapted on the polar regions. The animals have adapted to live in different climatic conditions. For example, freezing conditions, if you take, the animals have a thick layer of fat by name blubber under their skin to keep their body warm. For example, seal, penguin, and walrus. Seal, penguin, walrus are adapted to live in freezing conditions. The cold places animals that live in very cold places have thick fur. Example, polar bear. That fur protects them from cold. It is cold on the mountains in the polar region. A yak in the mountains and a polar bear lives in the polar region. So these animals are adapted to live in those cold conditions. Under extreme cold conditions, they undergo a process called hibernation, during which they stop all the metabolic activities and take rest until the conditions become favorable. During hibernation conditions, they melt the fat which is stored under their skin, and they survive on the energy produced by the oxidation of that fat. Next, some more adaptations in the animals living on land, terrestrial animals. The extreme opposite conditions, hot conditions, adaptations in the animals living in desert. Deserts are very hot during the day but become cold at night. Animals have to adapt to these conditions and also have to live with very little water. Water scarce conditions. The animals living in a desert have skin with less hair. For example, camel. A camel have thick skin which protects it from sun and also from the cold. The fat is stored in the hump, in its hump, and it lives on this fat and so can survive without food or water for many days. Not only camels, some other animals living in the desert like rats, kangaroo rat we can call it as, the lizards and snakes, they can survive in the hot conditions. If you take snakes, they cannot tolerate the cold conditions during which they undergo hibernation. So here the camel have long legs that keep their body away from heat of the sand, deserted conditions, and the fat stored in the hump act as a food reserve, and its broad feet helps in walking on sand without sinking. And these animals, the camel excrete very small amounts of urine, and they do not sweat to conserve the water. Rats and snakes of desert, they live in the burrows deep in the sand to stay away from the intense heat during daytime and come out during night time when it is cooler. The scales on the body of the snake help them in locomotion, like crawling. It is called crawling. Next, the different habitats, terrestrial habitats, or if you take the habitat means the place or environment where an organism survive or live naturally is called its habitat. Basically, habitat is divided into two main types: terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats. Terrestrial habitats means the animals which live exclusively on land, and aquatic habitat means the living organisms surviving in water. Terrestrial habitat is divided into three major types like deserts, mountains and grasslands. The different animals can survive in different habitats. Aquatic habitats majorly divide into freshwater and marine water, or we can say oceanic habitat and ponds. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel.